All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Outline. It is December 8th, Wednesday. It's been a minute since we've had a show. Recently, I've been in Vegas. Had a decent time there. Was there for a week. We got Schultze. We got Austin. How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you, Trevor?
You know, I'm all right. I'm hanging in there. I'm tired as fuck. I had like a flight that got in at like midnight, and then I had to drive from midnight until like 8 this morning to get back home, and I haven't slept yet. So I'm fucking exhausted, running on no sleep. But Jeff Nadu is going to be here in a little bit, who is fighting fucking, what's his name? Can't think of his name.
Jersey
Jerry. See, that's how my brain is working today. It's not. Pride. I ain't going to be able to say anything right. Vegas was fun, though. How have you guys been?
Good. Everything's going well.
Hanging in there, brother.
Hanging in there, exactly. Just pumping and going.
All right, so the Lions finally won. That's some fucking news on my radar. We're still not eliminated from the playoffs. I don't know how the hell the Lions can possibly make the playoffs, but still not eliminated. That'd be fucking crazy if somehow everything aligned right and the 6-10-1 Detroit Lions made the playoffs.
I would like to say I love Dan Campbell, and that video after they won and everything, like when they're in the locker room and everything's just he must be a great guy because you don't have a reaction like that from the team if he's not.
No, I mean,
he
definitely had Pantera just blasting through that thing. Cowboys from Hell, just.
I like him. I like his personality. I like his personality. I think they play for him, and if Detroit really cares about winning, I think they got a great coach for the job.
No doubt.
See, I think so, but the motherfucker does some dumb stuff. Like, while going for it on 4th and 1 and you're on like 30-yard line just seems crazy to me.
I mean, first-year head coach, you gotta.
Yeah, you're gonna have the rookie struggles of the head coach, especially if you don't have like a good offensive coordinator that you're in tune with yet or everything. So I think they'll figure it out. I think the Detroit Lions are in a similar boat that the New York Jets are in. I think. Yeah,
but you guys got a quarterback you think is the future, but
I think so. I think Wilson's played well in 6 games, and I think he's come back from injury and played really well. So no complaints from me. And
we're gonna switch over from the football talk to some rough and rowdy talk to Jeff Nadu, who's coming up, who's fighting this weekend. Jeff, how's it going, bro?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
I'm great, man. I'm glad to finally have you on here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. You're the last thing I'm gonna do, the last media I'm gonna do. So you guys should be excited. I love what you do. So good for you.
Yeah, appreciate it. We always show you love. You always show us love. So that's dope. So how is everything? How's the training been? How is your focus? Like, let's get in your mindset a little bit because you only got a few days left till fight day.
Yeah. I just got to Charleston, a couple hours ago. It was a long drive here, but I feel good. I mean, I could fight right now. My opponent is he's always got to be the toughest guy in the room. Me, I'll get there. It's not that I'm not there. I just, I'm a more quiet guy in this type of thing. I'll allow the punches to do the talking and the fighting to do the talking when it matters most. But I'm ready to go. I mean, I'm in really good shape. I don't have to do any. I'm kind of done training at this point. So I'll do some jogging tomorrow, just kind of keep my heart rate up. But I've been working a long time to get to my cardio where it is, and I'm very confident that from a cardio standpoint, it's not a close fight. I think if the fight was judged on that, I'd win by a landslide. As far as the footwork and everything else, we trained really hard. I had a great trainer. My trainers that are going to be there the night of are real fighters. They fight and they're out there doing things. So, yeah, we're ready and prepared. I'm treating it like it's a 12-round fight. I'm going to give the best 3 minutes that I can, and I think it'll be enough.
Schultze, you can fire away. I know you said you had some questions for Nadu, so go ahead and ask them.
Yeah, Jeff, big fan. Happy to have you here. My question. Jerry, he's kind of sticky with the content of putting out, the boxing and everything in his training and stuff. We haven't seen much from you. I'm sure you're not going to tell us a game plan or anything, but are you confident going into this fight that Jerry's done?
Yeah, I feel pretty confident about all that. I mean, I know Jerry's a tough kid. I know he'll probably, I know he has a lot on the line. I know he has a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
We both do. At the end of the day, we took this fight, though, from my standpoint because I believe I'll beat Jerry.
Yeah.
As far as why you didn't see any training stuff, because as I'm not going to share, Bill Belichick doesn't share the secrets before the game.
Sure.
For me, we worked all encompassed on everything. For me, boxing is not just about punching and hitting somebody. It's about understanding that footwork is the key to everything. If you can stay on 2 feet, you're going to be in a good situation. So I have a game plan of what my opponent will do. My goal in this is not to be the toughest, be the hardest puncher. It's to be the smartest, the most tactical when we fight. And I've noticed in these fights, I've done a lot of research on how people fight in these, and a lot of the time they're not trained, they have no cardio. But for me, my goal is to go in there and really try to be tactical and be smart. And I'm not going to just sit there and play the fight everybody wants me to play. I'm here to win. I'm here to get paid, and I'm here to do what I have to do to win. So we're going to use our game plan, and that's going to be what it is.
One more point. So I think Dave said on the BFF podcast a few days ago that you probably have the most to lose here. If you lose this fight, you don't get the Bosco fight that everyone really wants to see. Do you agree with that? You feel the pressure on you?
Well, listen, I'm going to be honest, and my opponent takes this as I'm scared or whatever, but I have nothing to lose, in my opinion. This is a win.
Okay.
So,
I think that's a fair point.
I'll say this. All in all, I think all three of you are smart enough to understand. I don't think it would truly matter at all what happens in this fight, frankly.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I've always thought that fight would never happen anyway. So if it did, it did. But Dave mentioned also that I'd be out as far as my connection to Barstool, which look, I left there in February, so
right.
They're the ones that continue to bring me around. So
we need that fight. We need the Jeff and Bosco fight.
I'd love to see you beat the shit out of that.
That's the real fight. That's the real fight.
I think it'd be $1 million fight, 100%. But
I'd pay my rent check on it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's just facto.
That's the fight.
So Jeff, I got a question for you. So being a Philly resident and everything, like my colleague Schultz, he said, he stated that on Dave Portnoy's show, he put Jersey Jerry at -700 odds. So are we going to be feeling like some sort of like a Rocky Philly underdog story at the end of this? I mean, what's the come out music going to be? Is it going to be Eye of the Tiger, man? I want to hear it.
No, it's not. I felt Rocky was too cliche, so I didn't do that. I thought coming
too
out
on the nose.
Country Roads is too cliche as well. So just to answer your first question, look, I mean, I always thought I'd be the underdog. I don't know why I'm the underdog.
But he's 5'5". He should be the underdog.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, that just motivates me, man. At the end of the day, I've always been motivated by people that talk shit and have negative shit to say. I kind of feed off shit like that. I know most of the people in there won't like me. I've always played the villain, the most hated, that kind of thing. So I really don't give a fuck if you like me or not. I really don't care.
Yeah, I love that.
It's funny because sometimes. So the other night, Gervonta Davis fought, and Gervonta Davis won, and they booed him as he talked in the press conference. And, you could see him just laughing. And it's at the end of the day, he won. Who gives a fuck what the crowd thinks?
Exactly.
I'm going in there and going to fight my fight. And if it means shocking the world, so be it.
Love to hear that, man.
I love that. I have a question. Do you think Jerry's kind of shticky with this feud, or is there actual beef between the two of you? I feel there's more beef on Jerry's side, and you're more manipulative, the villain, playing that role, and you're smarter. Is there any truth to that? Yeah,
look, I don't know how Jerry's getting paid. I know how I'm getting paid.
Right.
I'm not. I'll say this 100 times. I don't hate Jerry.
I don't think you do either. Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't. But here's what I'll say. For the 3 minutes that we fight, I look at Jerry and I see Barstool, and I don't feel that I was treated particularly well. I don't think that it ended correctly for me. I think a lot could have been done and it wasn't done, and I have a lot of animosity. So I look through Jerry and I just see the people that I don't like there. So for me, that's enough. I really don't care about Jerry.
It it's wild to me, the whole situation. I know if the people know why he left Barstool and everything. I just don't know how one guy can push another guy out, and that's why I want the Bosco fight to happen. I'm rooting for you. I like Jerry. I think he's funny, but I need you to win this. I need that Bosco.
I'll be honest. On the way down here, I mean, it was a 6-hour ride, so there's a lot of free time, and I listened to Jerry's Pardon My Take interview. I think he's an interesting guy. He's obviously been through a lot in his life, and this is a good moment for him. It's a good moment for me. He can take it. The fans can take it however they want, but I'm at peace with everything. I'm in a great feel right now. I'm at a good point in my life. I feel great. I feel ready to go. And as I sit in my head, I've already won. So I don't really even think about anything else. I don't need to tell everyone how I'm going to win or guarantee anything. Because when I win and I take care of business, it'll just be the more exciting,
Yeah. I mean, and another thing with Jerry, back to Schulze's point, he's very sticky. I mean, all he does is he talk about is like, I'm blue collar, I'm Jersey Jerry, the signs, the union. I mean, as a fellow blue collar worker myself, I just call bullshit on that. I mean, all he does is talk about is I work hard, I work with pipes, I work with wrenches. I mean, I just don't see how that's going to even pan out for him in a boxing ring, essentially. I mean,
my favorite thing about Jerry is when he was in contract negotiations, one of the first thing was he mentioned the pension right away. I'm like, this guy is not.
That's real. All those fucking union guys live for, man.
I think for Jerry, he doesn't seem to understand. He's blue collar until Barstool calls,
Yeah.
And
yep.
For me, as I said, he's a tough kid. I know he's worked hard, but I'm not a fan of the shtick thing. Like, I don't do that. I'm always unapologetic, always. So I don't do the shtick thing, and that's one of the things I hate about certain people that are there that do that. I don't like it. Jerry, as I said, Jerry always has to be the toughest guy in the room. He can't have a conversation. It's always talking over somebody. I really, all that shit is just, it's all bluster to me. I've always had a thought that, the biggest fish with their mouth open always gets caught, and, I'll swim around and let him talk. I'm not real worried about that.
What the hell's the deal with Marty Mush? I feel like you guys don't like each other.
He's a leech.
What's the deal with that dude?
Marty's a leech. He's a guy that has no talent, and he leeches onto others for success, and that's always been his MO. You look at him. I mean, he was a prime example. He knew that fighting would, when he started at Barstool, that was right when he fought. He knew what fighting was. And this is where the whole shtick with Jerry, it's always never made a lot of sense to me, and I've always kind of just laughed at it because it was clear from the beginning Jerry wanted to fight. I mean, he wanted to fight a couple different people, and he couldn't even have a conversation. The first thing was, well, let's just fight. Like, who the fuck talks like that? It's like, I'm 32 years old. Like,
didn't he want to fight Brandon Walker? That was the first one he asked.
I feel like he wants to fight everybody. It's like, ultimately, the only people that talk like that are drunk people at the bar. And also the thing that I've at peace with that Jerry isn't is I understand that the fight game is the fight game, and any fighter knows that, you always are going to have the thought that you're going to win in your head. But you know what? Sometimes in the back of your head, you have to have that prospect come up of what happens when I lose. And, I'm not going to be any less of a man. I'll come back to this hotel room that I'm in, and I'll leave Saturday morning just like I would if I won. But, I'm going in there. I know I'll win. I don't need to keep saying I'm going to win. I'm more tactical. I'm more prepared. And the problem that Jerry's going to have is if this gets to the second and third rounds, he'll lose. It's that simple. Yeah. He knows that, and I know that. So, I mean, I wish we could do 6 or 7 rounds personally. I didn't even want breaks in them.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop. I'm good. So 3 minutes is nothing. So I'm not real worried about
that. I have a question about your good friend Rico Bosco and the Cyber Monday. I have to ask you, is that real that he did barricade himself in that room? And what was the process when you walked in and everything, and when you found out that he was hidden in a bunker? No,
it was definitely real. I walked up and he was already in it at that point, and I walked into the office, into where the rundown is set, and Jerry and I had a little conversation, and then I went and looked around, and I asked where Rico was, and they said he's in the room, and I said, "What do you mean he's in a room?" They said he's locked in a room. So I went and banged on the door, banged on the wall.
Yep.
He didn't come out, and I ran around and just called him a bitch and a pussy, and
Everything throw him the book. Fuck him.
He didn't come out.
I know all people that follow Barstool or claim that their stoolies have a funny Rico Bosco like blocking me story. I wrote an article and I said Rico Bosco is the best thing going at Barstool, like complimenting him. Like when he first like started full time, he blocked me. So fuck him. After that, I honestly was trying to be nice, and he's just like the shtickmeister.
It's a weird way to build a fan base. Just
he has to have over 100,000 people blocked.
Easily. I mean, who's his number one enemy? Those fucking little league kids, like the chick who played a couple of years ago. Yeah, he like despises her. That's so fucking weird.
He's weird.
And he also like just ostracizes his fans, you know, like even like you said, like you wrote a blog that was probably in favor of him.
It was very nice. I loved it. I thought Rico was funny.
Yeah, he cuts you loose. Like that's crazy. It's weird.
He
wears his emotions too much. I mean, you just
it's
can't
goofy,
do that
weirdo
on the internet.
But
he has to be real. Like everything, there's probably not too much sticky about him. I mean, he blows up at like the smallest thing.
Oh, he's definitely real. He's a real stone cold bitch motherfucker. That
holding movies, he like
balls.
He
He's a sensitive scumbag piece of shit. He's the lowest form of person that I've ever come in contact. Well, I've never come in contact with him, but
right.
Yeah, he's a vile twat, is what he is. And you know what? I'll tell you this.
You want?
Oh yeah, I'd beat his fucking head in. I wouldn't stop either. I mean, you'd have to, you know, you'd want to make sure you check me for razor blades and fucking shanks. Like, I don't know what I would do if I ever got into a ring with him, to be honest.
He's not getting into a ring with you.
The thing is, and I'll say this about him, Jerry will even contend that he didn't hate me until he, quote, saw things that I did, whatever that means. This is a guy.
That's the signs.
The signs.
He's called me a racist. He's called me a rapist. He's called me a woman beater. He's called me a terrorist. He's just a vile cunt. That's all he is.
Yeah,
some heavy allegations without any proof or validation for him.
Yeah, that when that left, like, I wasn't even there, and he left a bad taste in my mouth on how like the whole situation was handled. I thought you guys could have a good dynamic where like Rico just complained the whole time and you had your opinions and he had his. But
of course, but again, that's kind of for me where the disconnected Barstool came, where it was like, you know, you're about money. Well, you know, this isn't making, like, Bench Mob doesn't make them any money.
No.
Rico and I doing a show made money. And it's like, how do you allow an individual to, you know, it's like, again, and the whole thing was
Marty doesn't work.
Right. And the thing was, like, I didn't even give a fuck if Rico worked there. Like, I would never tell a man he can't work somewhere or even contend that he shouldn't. But he made it to a point where it was just like I couldn't be at places. I couldn't do things. So it was like, enough. I'll just go back and do what I was doing, and I'll be good and happy. So
I kind of want to go back here a little bit, Jeff. How did you get started in this media game? Because I know you've been around for a little while now.
Yeah, I've been doing it since like 2010, 2011. I really just started in my house, man. I've been gambling for a long time, and I remember my dad said something to me many years ago, probably 10 years ago at this point. He said, "Why don't you start like a podcast and talk about sports?" And I said, well, I didn't even know what a podcast was at the time, and I downloaded this app called Spreaker, and I plugged this rinky-dink mic that I bought at Radio Shack into the headphone jack, and I remember just sitting there in my house, and I just did a show, and I talked about sports, and nobody listened to it. And, then the goal was, try to getting into gambling. And I went to an offshore sports betting company, and I emailed them like 10 or 12 times, like, hey, can I come on and do videos? They did football videos, like previewed games and stuff. And eventually they let me on, and I started building an audience there. And then eventually I got a show, and I started getting paid to do it. And by this point, I was still working a regular job, and then it just kind of matriculated. I started making enough money where I could live on my own and not have to work. And then, eventually I met Big Cat and started talking to Dave. And I've always, through all this time, have had my own things that I'm doing. And, it's turned into something. Now I have a podcast that's not even about sports that makes money. I have a show that I do that makes money. I have Patreon that makes money. I have stuff like this, so
Right.
it all worked in the end.
You mentioned Dave. What's Dave actually like?
That's a good question.
Is he real? Is he the same person we see?
No way.
Yeah, Dave's always been really fair to me. He's always been kind to me. He's always been nice to me. He's always seemed like he's respected me. I obviously respect him a lot. He's one of the people there that's always been cool. I think he understands kind of what I'm about and who I am. So, I've always liked Dave, and he's always been fair with me.
That's good to know.
It's good to know.
So it seems like Rico has him wrapped around his finger, though. Essentially, I mean,
right?
He just kind of says and does whatever the fuck he wants. I mean, he was faceless for a couple of years.
He's the puppet.
That's the problem. But you know what? I'm not. And like I said, and this is important that a lot of people don't understand. Most people that work somewhere, they need the job, right? They have to be there, or they're not gonna have a job. I can sustain myself and go other places. So for me, my happiness is important at the end of the day. And to be real frank with you guys, I make more money than I'd made there. So it's for me, it's not about being famous. It's about making money,
right.
and what's the best long-term thing for me. And now I have a lot of, I'm so excited. Once this fight's over, I just go back to my life and I gamble and watch football and do a show twice a day and just chill. It's an easy life and it's something I'm happy doing. So
right.
I'd much rather do that than have to contend and try to fight with some asshole that wants to be a dickhead about everything. Fuck it.
Right.
1,000%.
Here's a question. Did beforehand with everything before you and Rico blew up and everything, did Dave offer you to be in the office full time?
Yeah, I was given so this was what was it? It was the September of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
They offered me a contract and I declined it.
Okay.
Because they wanted me to be full time and
right.
When it just didn't work for me money wise. And then we didn't talk for a while. And then 2020 came and I went up and did some Pick Central stuff. And we had agreed on something at that point. And coronavirus happened.
Right.
And we had to postpone it until September of 2020. And that was when I got hired originally. But yeah, I remember I went up to Barstool in 2018. It was back when they were at the old office.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just a question on how that dynamic started, just because it seems from, people are casual Barstool fans that you worked there and then Rico chased you out and then you didn't have this full-time position. So I think it's important.
No, I've been kind of in the ether for a while,
Right, because you had that relationship with Big Cat even before Dave, is that right? Big Cat introduced you?
Yeah, I knew so Big Cat and I used to just talk and I used to give him basketball picks and we did pretty well. And then one day he just kind of said, hey, this was before legalized gambling happened or anything. He kind of just said, hey, do you want to come up and speak to Dave about some of your ideas? And I showed him you and everything. And Dave reached out to me a week or two later. And they kind of told me at that point, there's not much we can do now. But when gambling kind of makes its way into the forefront, we'll get you back up here and maybe we can try to make something happen. So, yeah, I've been around for a while. I mean, I think it's funny because when you go back to the Rico thing, him and he can do his thing, I can do mine.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh, lost you, Jeff. Can't hear you. Let's see here. This fucking thing. First it was Austin's mic, now it's fucking Jeff's mic.
I know. And Jeff is saying some good stuff. Oh, fuck.
I'm sure you'll hop back on. At least for a little bit longer. I mean, we covered the main things, but we definitely got to get a little closer. We got to, I don't know. He said he's not going to predict the fight, but kind of need him to predict the fight, right?
Sounds like he's very confident in being able to beat him, which I think is just like I said to him, we haven't seen him put out any content about the fight, like as far as like him sparring or anything like that. So I think that's what the fans want to see. I think he can beat Jerry. I know everyone thinks Jerry's this, unbeatable man, but I definitely think Jeff has played good mind games with Jerry. I think he's a lot smarter than Jerry.
If you guys are watching this, you can go buy the fight. I think it's buyrnr.com. The fight is Saturday?
Saturday, the
Saturday
10th.
The 10th. Okay. So go buy rnr.com. And there's also other fights, that woman's fight, that Hot Wheels versus that other kid,
yes.
that rematch, that's going to be crazy.
And Mighty Mouse will be there again, I'm sure.
Oh, Mighty Mouse is going to be there? Let's fucking go.
I think so. He's like,
I love that guy.
He's undefeated.
Is he? I love that fucking guy.
Yeah, he fucking slammed the dude, and they still said he won.
I love it.
And then he said, "That's what I do. I'm a badass." Do you think you want Jeff to win, right? Everyone.
Well, I think we're all pro Jeff now, right?
We're all in the Nadu group.
I think
Nadu
Jerry's entertaining.
Fuck Jerry. Fuck Marty Mush. Honestly, especially Marty Mush. That's a fight.
Marty Mush can go fuck himself.
Fuck Jerry, that Carhartt cowboy. I mean, that's all he does is he wears Carhartt and he's like, I'm blue collar.
I'm blue collar.
The sign.
And the big one is Rico. He needs that fight. That's why he needs to win.
I feel. Is he back? Let me see. I forgot that I got to check that shit.
He said he's got 5 more. He can do 5 more minutes.
All right, that's fine. We can hurry up here.
So, yo, guys, the fight's Friday.
Friday?
Friday.
Okay, that's why like the 10th. I feel like the 10th is in like not Saturday. I feel like that's in a couple.
It's Friday.
Friday. Excuse us.
Okay.
Why is it Friday? Isn't it normally Saturday?
No, it's always Friday.
Oh, it's always Friday. Fuck.
Now that you say that.
Well, now that we corrected that.
So is anyone walking out with you, Jeff, or just you?
Yeah, it'll be my best friend Ryan, who used to do big men on basketball with me. He's been my best friend since we were kids.
Yeah.
My trainer, who's my trainer, guys, is kind of a cool story. So my trainer's a real fighter. He fought 2 weeks ago. He signed on Top Rank. He's a heavyweight. And in Philly, they call him the real Rocky. He's like the real, like he's a tough dude, man. I have to show you this knockout he had recently.
Shit.
He'll be with me, and then another one of our friends will be there.
Who's training Jerry? Marty?
Who's what?
Who's training
He's
Jerry?
that guy in Newark that trains him.
Marty.
Some friend.
Well, fuck, all I see is him and Marty together. I don't fucking know. Jesus.
Well, Marty needs something
so this
else.
is my trainer, guys, right here. You got to see this.
Who the fuck's he boxing up against?
He's
He just keeps his hands down.
Boom.
Just kept working his head. Fuck yeah.
He's just against a guy that
fucked him up.
Yeah, he's a tough dude, man. He'll be in tomorrow. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
He has a trainer in Newark that he's got. Some friend of his, I guess. So
Well, ask the
question. I have some secrets on Jerry that he doesn't know I have. So I'm keeping them all.
Share them. Let's hear them. Come on, air it out right here on the outline.
I can't. Let's just say it has to do with his fighting shape.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
Is it part of that 5'5" nimble physique?
Listen, let me say something. Real shit. There's a reason it's Wednesday night, and they ain't happy for the fight. He's still in the gym. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
He did have
you're
Corona.
Cardio, you're not I'm not in the gym right now.
I feel like you've been training from before this fight.
I've been training since March of 2020.
I remember I fucking made a video calling out Bryce Hall being stupid as fuck, and you retweeted it, and then you commented you were calling someone out, and that was like months and months ago, and that was before this fight.
Yeah, Michael Gruen.
Oh yeah,
Gruen.
That'd be electric. That'd be electric.
Well, Gruen said he would do it after he got his weight loss surgery, which he had. So
right. Well, shit.
That's right.
Make that happen.
Did he go down to Mexico and eat like a tapeworm or something?
I don't know. I guess he had like the weight loss surgery. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But
Gruen doesn't seem like too bad. Do you actually not like Gruen?
No, I just know he's got a lot of money, so I think he.
But does he? Because I hear.
No, I do kind of hate those TikTok asses.
I hear he steals money.
Yeah, I heard that he's not like, I don't know. I ain't saying nothing bad because he's always been nice to me. He's always been decent.
I heard something.
But yeah, I mean I'm not a TikTok guy, so I would
Fair
love
enough.
to
Right.
take care of one of them.
Right.
But I know you got to get going pretty soon. You guys can go buy the fight, buy rnr.com. The fight is Friday night. I'm going to be watching. We're all rooting for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so what's going to happen? What round? Second round, third round? You think it's going to be
Well,
a
you know,
finish?
guys, listen. I mean, the gloves that we use are 16 ounce. If you know anything about boxing, that's what we use to spar with. It's really hard to knock someone out. I mean,
Tough.
one of us could catch each other. I would imagine it would be a decision.
Yeah.
I think for me, minutes such a short time. I don't think we truly understand. Like 3 minutes in a day is such a small time. You just have to kind of do what you can, and stay busy and just try to. My goal is just win rounds. If I can win the first round and then the third round, which I think I will, or vice versa, just give me 2 out of 3. I'll be good.
Right.
Fuck yeah, man. Love to hear it, dude.
Good attitude.
Yeah, we're definitely on the Nadu crew over here, buddy.
I appreciate you guys. You guys are great, and I always, you've always been cool to me, so I appreciate that.
We appreciate you taking time out of your day.
Yeah,
we really do.
Jeff. We appreciate
Knock his ass out. Knock his ass out.
We'll fuck him up.
I'm sure gonna try. We're just hoping for a win, baby.
Fuck yeah. Win, baby, win. How David
All
said
right.
it.
Thank you, Jeff.
Appreciate
Thank you
that.
guys. Have a nice
Nice
night.
seeing you,
all
man.
right?
You too.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. Jeff Nadu
Cool,
to do.
Cool,
Good dude. Good conversation. I'm sure we'll have him back on again after the fight, after he knocks out Jerry. I can't fucking talk. I'm tired. Guys, this is the outline. We got Schultz, we got Austin, we got Trev Stone. Guys, click like, click subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching. We out here, or do you guys want to do anything else?
We out of here. You're tired.
We
out of here.
I need to go to
I
bed.
got Cheetos to eat, man.
All right, peace out, guys.
Peace.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff, again.
Buy rnr.com. Fight is Friday. Peace.
Fucking go.
Let's go.